David, what a beautiful day. It's spring and there's birds and grass and...
But Alan, we are here for the launch of a new car.
We are.
That's what we should talk about.
What is it, David?
It is a Sorrento large SUV from Kia.
It starts with these beautiful 20-inch wheels, David, on a humble Kia, 20-inch wheels.
At the top of the range, they go from 17 to 20, yeah. But there's a lot more angles on the car too, isn't there?
But the good thing is, no matter what level, no matter what trim level you get, it still looks this gorgeous. They haven't gone for really crappy lights on the bottom models. It still looks sensational.
They use the expression, it doesn't look chubby, and I like that.
Well, it doesn't look chubby, unlike my good self.
Yeah, it's a personal reference I'm trying to avoid, but as far as the car goes, I think it is really quite enough angles to give it some character.
And some nice creases, and it's given character like the creases in our faces.
Indeed.
Some of us more than others.
Across the front, it's doing what we've just seen with the Toyota, that with their new Hilux and that they're trying to get width into it. The nose actually dips quite a bit here, and it's not a huge, great
it also feels nice. I mean, that grille is so sensual. Without bugs on it, it's bloody marvellous. It's beautiful, it's glossy, and they've gone to a lot of trouble underneath as well. The front just looks sensational. And of course, there's cameras all the way around. There's radar for cruise control, and up on top we've got more cameras for the autonomous emergency braking.
Yeah, the technology that's in this car is that while Mercedes may have sold a few more of their GLEs this year, you know, you'd have to wonder why.
How have they done that?
When there's so much of this technology in this particular vehicle.
Well, what's the top one of these run to?
$65,000.
And starting from?
$47,000.
Because David's got all the facts at his fingertips. We've got 2 engines, we've got 2 transmissions, and they come in 2 or all-wheel drive.
Now, in fact, the petrol is the 2-wheel drive, and to be quite honest with you, I think this is going to be a family car, much more an off-roader. I don't think it's that. But if you want to get 4-wheel drive, you can get it with a diesel engine. But most interestingly, also, it has a dual clutch, both 8-speed.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing. The 8-speed automatic is the one that we've seen in Stinger. That comes with the V6 petrol, which has had a few tweaks. A little bit more power, but much less torque. And this is the Halo car in white, virginal, like my good self. And it's the...
Sorry.
That's quite enough of that, thank you very much.
It was the marketing that just overpowered me, that's all.
Oh, I think if I can't say nice things about myself, no one else is going to. This engine is brand new.
Yeah.
The transmission, it's an 8-speed
dual clutch.
Dual clutch, and it's a wet sump dual clutch, so not like the dry sump ones that used to blow up. We don't want any of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that a dual clutch is quite right for an off-road vehicle. I think I'd prefer an automatic, but I don't think you're going to be climbing rocks with this out on a dirt road.
But we do have some off-road programs to do that if we want to. And with the tow bar that comes with these cars, or that you can get fitted to these cars, it can carry 2 tons, 2,000 kilos, with a downward ball weight of...
It's doubled, hasn't it? It's 200
kilos. So you can put 200 kilos of weight on your ball.
Which is more than you might expect.
Well, I don't like to have any weight on my ball personally.
The diesel has 440 Newton meters, whereas the petrol has 332 Newton meters.
And how many kilowatts? It's 100.
Well, 148 for the petrol and 200 for the the other way around. 148 for the diesel and 200 for the petrol. So
we could take this show on the road, you know, I reckon. So let's go for a quick walk around the car, and we'll point out a couple of the things. In profile, I think this car looks great, except for, I don't mind this, that's fine. Some of our friends don't like it. But I think that, combined with that, looks awkward. Why don't they just kind of bring that over here?
What they're trying to do is give you the vision of a sloping back without the inconvenience of it. You get in some
just
things.
Don't put the bloody thing in then. Either have that or have that. But apart from it, I think we can forgive them that one little foible, because I think this looks stunning. And if the front looks stunning, the bum looks beautiful. Come and have a look at the bum. Have a look at this. Look at this. Isn't that stunning?
Quite different from the usual across, often trying to give width. That's almost got a little bit of Mustang about it.
It does, but there's a bit of chunkiness. This is a little bit Range Rover. You know what this is? This is a budget Range Rover. That's what this is.
Okay.
This is you could get 3 of these for 1 Range Rover, probably 4.
Yeah. Range Rover would be more competent off-road, but as I say, I don't think that's where we're going to be using this. And it's easy to undo the back.
I can cut that bit out.
Okay.
It has, of course, an electric tailgate. They've got... Oh.
It uses more room. Do you know, Alan, it's not bigger on the outside, but it has got 32% more space on the inside.
Get away with you.
616 litres. Now, how can you get much bigger on the inside without it showing? I think that's really clever.
Well, not only that, but this is a centimetre higher. And so it's a centimetre bigger all round, but they've got 35 millimetres more where it counts inside in the wheelbase. So that means that the seats all have more space. But better still, as with all Kias, apart from their 7-year warranty, and that's Damien Meredith we've got to thank for that, they've got a spare tyre. But look at this is brilliant. And look at this, there's technology in the back of this car. There's buttons for the seats, look. There's another row of air conditioning. I mean, and this for $65,000.
The other thing, it's got nice things. You can set this height if you're in a low garage or if you're a short person.
I mean, that's not unusual. You can do that with a lot of cars. You just hold it up and then press and hold the button. With this, it's a button inside. But if the outside looks panty-wettingly beautiful, the inside is stunning.
Bit of bling.
I love bling.
Indeed.
Darling, where's my diamonds?
Let's have a look.
Thing is, in the back, have a look at this. We've got a 511 dummy in the front. Wave to the people, dummy. In the back, have a look at this. Come, look at this. Look, that must be 12 inches. I haven't seen 12 inches since my school days. And David, look over here. Look, that seat's further back. You've still got a good 6 inches.
I like also that I've got good support under my thighs. Sometimes.
Oh, I love support under thighs.
Sometimes all-wheel drives have high floor plans, and particularly older ones. This is good. This is comfortable.
But have a look at this though. Like, we've got a 5'11" person in the front. Stop laughing. And I can just see either side of Jack's head. I can see everything that's happening in the front. Like, I can see over Jack's shoulders. I can see the screen. I can see the air conditioning. This is amazing. And because we're sitting nice and high.
We've got a very large screen here, which goes all the way back, which is fine. But that doesn't give you much more.
Do you mean
headroom.
sunroof?
Sunroof is the word I'm after.
Yeah, sunroof.
Yeah.
I can just fit some fingers between my head and the roof, David. That's awfully low. Do you know what? I'd rather go without the sunroof, wouldn't you?
I don't like sunroofs.
But have a look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look, soft close. We've got soft close, David, look. LED lighting, which I think looks smashing, and just in case you don't want people from the outside to see what's happening inside, you can put a sunshade up. Although there is privacy glass as well, but I think this sunshade is absolutely smashing. And have a look, see these little bits in the doors here? At night, they light up.
For this model.
For this model. We've got cup holders in the doors, bottle holder in the doors.
We've got a nice little easy to get to USB
USB,
port.
yes. And there's a button here to move the front seat backwards and forwards. Look. We had Jack's get out because we, didn't want to squash him. Have a look at that. That means that the person in front can leave the chair wherever they want. The person in the back can get in. They don't have enough room. They can slide it forward and put it back up. And that's a feature in a car that you don't normally get for this price. Now I'm in the Sport Plus. The car that David and I were sitting in previously is the top of the range GT line. Basically the same car, except this one has a conventional dashboard instead of the U-Butte digital one. Now the interesting thing is that because only diesel models are available for the time being, the petrol model comes in about 6 weeks' time. all of the cars here have the same engine and transmission. So I'm going to put my foot down. That is as smooth as a baby's bum. It is just sensational. And this is in-house stuff. I think this is an amazing advancement for Kia. I could really settle into these seats for a long one. Now, comfort-wise, there's not much of a difference between this and that top model that you just saw. Other than the trim, the cars are identical. Now, of course, they all come standard with the safety gadgets that you'd expect. The top model gets the 360-degree parking camera, active lane assistance, active cruise control, active blind spot monitor. And this blind spot monitor is so clever. How clever is it? It's so clever that it will even lock the back doors if the car's parked and your kiddies want to get out and there's a car coming. I think it's really clever stuff. Front passengers, obviously, a little bit different because it assumes that you're the driver and you know what you're doing. The steering is, at this speed at least, as light as a feather. The engine has more than enough poke to get it out of trouble. But the thing is, this is so quiet. It is so quiet. Don't you think it's quiet?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. He says it's pretty good. They've done so much work on the sound deadening. There's bits and bobs underneath the car to help airflow so that there's no nasty wind noises. At speed, there's no nasty wind noise outside either. And in fact, you'd be forgiven for thinking you're in someone's lounge room. The main thing about this is that it is light and it's easy to drive. And despite its considerable size and bulk, feels like a small car. I'm sitting incredibly high up in traffic, though you wouldn't know you're driving a car that is so big. The suspension, Graham Gambold has been at that too, as well as the steering, and he's made the McPherson struts at the front and the multi-link rear end feel soft and compliant. And it's, again, as smooth as sitting in a lounge chair. I could imagine going a very, very long way in this. I think that Kia might just have made their best ever car. Better than Stinger, better than anything else, because it is such a quantum leap. It follows on from Seltos, but it's bigger and it's better. And that means it's gooder, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And now, back to the park. That's it, David. What do you think?
I think it's a very, very competent value for money. I'm not saying cheap by any means, but value for money car.
$65,000 for this. I think that is a bunch of value.
When I say cheap, I meant low quality.
You don't mean like me cheap.
Yeah.
You mean like you cheap. Very expensive.
I don't mean tacky or anything like that.
I don't know what you're saying. I think, considering the price of this car, it drives beautifully. That transmission is sensational. And I think Graham has done a brilliant job. Now remember, this suspension is fixed. This is not variable suspension. He's done all of that just with ZF Sachs shock absorbers, or dampers as they like to call them. I think this is brilliant, brilliant value. If we were still rating it, I'd give it a really good rating, but I can't be asked doing ratings anymore. So, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
As always, if you've liked the film, please leave a comment. Hit like, and hold on a sec. I'm just going to move that little circle over there to subscribe.